Hi, I'm Scott Dunbar. I'm the lease renewal specialist here at Ens Toyota. Some of the common questions I often get asked are, why would I lease a vehicle versus buying one? Number one is that typically a lease payment is going to be lower monthly payment than financing because you're not paying your tax on the full purchase price, you're only paying it on the lease payment itself. And there's flexible terms, anywhere from 24 to 60-month terms. We have different types of leases. We do what's a conventional lease, starting at 20,000 kilometers a year, and we can customize that to whatever the customer's needs are. We also have what's called a multiple security deposit lease, and we're one of the few companies, Toyota and Lexus, that does that. And with that, we can take equity if you have a trade-in or if you want to put some money down. That buys down your lease payment, the amount of interest you'll pay on your lease payment every month. And then the beauty of that type of lease, at the termination of it, that money's still sitting there for you and you get it back. For renewing lease customers, Toyota's always got ongoing loyalty programs. Like currently this month, if you're releasing a new vehicle from us, we'll make your first payment for you, or you have a half a point reduction we can offer you, or up to a full 1% reduction for you. So you have three different choices that you can pick from. And another reason to lease, a lot of times people will choose a vehicle maybe with lesser equipment than they would actually like. A good example, say, is our RAV4, the LE, the next trim level up, the XLE, where you gain things like the fog lights, the power moonroof, a power seat, heated steering wheel, power lift gate, dual zone climate control. For very little more per month on your lease payment, you can upgrade to that. So more vehicle for less money. When leasing too, there's greater flexibility. People don't typically keep their vehicles anymore for 8 or 10 years, you know. The nice thing with the lease, if you're in say a 4-year lease and at the 3-year point your needs have changed, it's easier to get you out of that. We constantly see people coming into the dealership that have bought elsewhere and got into anywhere from 7 to 8, 9-year finance programs. They're buried in negative equity. We can't get them out of those vehicles. With the lease, you know, when things change in your life, it's a lot easier to move you out and into a new vehicle that suits your current needs. One of the comments that we hear, well, if I'm leasing a vehicle, I don't own it. Well, if you're financing a vehicle, you don't own it till you've made that last payment. And if you're doing that over a 5 to 7 year term, typically by the time you're done paying for it, it's time to start the whole process over again. Leasing is just another way of buying a vehicle. It gives you that flexibility of lower payment, shorter terms, renewal bonuses, all of those things. And then at termination of lease, you have several different choices. You've been leasing that vehicle for 4 years. You love the vehicle. It suits everything you need it to do. You don't want to upgrade your vehicle at that time. You do have the option to buy that vehicle out. And you'll have financing through Toyota for that. We can extend your warranty. That's something to look at. Say if your needs have totally changed and that vehicle doesn't work for you anymore, you can return it. We can move you into a new one with the loyalty programs that I mentioned earlier. Or if you no longer need a vehicle, period, you know, the vehicle's in the condition it needs to be in at termination of lease, you can walk away from it altogether. Another common question people I deal with that are in business, either self-employed or if they're getting a vehicle allowance every month, that sort of thing. A lot of times there is tax advantages for you with leasing versus owning. Typically you can write off the lease through its entirety, so if you're in a 4-year lease, you can write that off. I always say check with your accountant to make sure how everything is structured and see if that would work for you, but it's definitely something to look at. And if you do have any questions regarding leasing or financing a new vehicle, please don't hesitate to contact me here at the dealership. Thank you.